Hello, welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Layden. Thousands of people are permanently homeless in Orange County. Hundreds of them are living right at the Civic Center Plaza. With me now is Orange County Supervisor Andrew Do, who's here to talk about some of the plans underway to address the homeless issue. Welcome.
Hello, Leslie.
You know, it went on for a long time, Civic Center Plaza, people living out there in the open. It's just now being addressed. What took so long for it to get addressed in the first place?
I started working in the Civic Center in '87, Leslie. So over the years, we have always had a homeless issue there, but it ebbed and flowed over the years. But in the last, I would say 3 to 5 years, we have seen a dramatic increase in the amount of encampment that we see at the Civic Center. It has reached a point where it becomes a safety hazard to the public and also for people going to the Civic Center for their county services.
But why wasn't it addressed before?
I think I can't speak for the prior boards. I've only been on the board about 1.5 years. But since I've been on the board, we have had basically unanimity among the board members that this is an issue that we need to take on.
Okay. So did it have to do with legal issues? Were you afraid if you said move to some other place that it would be a problem for the county?
Well, of course. I think any solution faces you know, a lot of challenges, logistical, legal, and political. The one thing that people probably have a hard time kind of put it in the proper context is who has jurisdiction over what aspect of this problem. The Civic Center is in the city of Santa Ana, but yet we have county buildings there. So sometimes people don't know, is it the county's problem or is it the city's problem? And what it comes down to is this, is if it's in a city, then the city has jurisdiction over the patrol and the policing of that area. We, as the county, have numerous buildings in that complex, but in that regard, we are just people using, you know, our facility, our building, just like any other people or agencies. So we have to rely on the Santa Ana Police Department to police that area. Okay,
so now there are efforts underway, starting with a homeless shelter that has opened recently. What kind of services are available? What are you hoping to accomplish with this new shelter that is right across from the Civic Center area?
The Courtyard Transitional Center is the county's first step towards a more comprehensive solution to homelessness in the county. We need a place where at least we start now with Santa Ana. It's not going to be the only one in the county because we recognize there are other hot spots in the county where we also have a higher density of homeless individuals. But at least in the Civic Center in Santa Ana, we have the transitional center where people can sleep, can come in and get out of the elements, but more importantly, take advantage of the services that we have, the wraparound services that we have at the county. And then they can transition from there into ultimately permanent housing.
It seems like one of the most difficult parts about the homelessness issue is that the issue is as different as every individual. Some people may never be able to live in homes that we would think would be comfortable for everyone to live in. And some people need mental health services, and some people really are truly a paycheck away of wanting to live in a safe, comfortable apartment.
And that's why I proposed, and the board agreed with me. We created a new position at the county. It's called Care Coordinator. And the director of this department recognizes that, like you said, there isn't only one cause for homelessness. There are many issues, mental health, drug abuse. And so this coordinator department will be able to you know, basically coordinate all of the departments and services we have in the county to help individuals address different issues they may face.
Are those facilities available, mental health facilities, drug addiction treatment?
We will bring, we don't bring the departments to them, but we will bring workers from those departments to have a presence at the transitional center, and through their daily contact with the people there, they will be able to introduce their service to these people, and hopefully they earn the trust enough so that they can, get them to participate in the programs.
It seems like the need is so great compared to the resources available. I know there's an effort turning in that direction. You have what's called a new homeless czar. What is being done to help cut the red tape to facilitate programs for the homeless?
And I choose to say, the homeless czar, her name is Susan Price. We hired her from the city of Long Beach. That is really a great effort by the Board of Supervisors to cut through the red tape, in that here you have one department that's going to have access into all of the county departments and find out what resource we have so that we can offer people depending on what they need. So going forward, people only have to contact one department to access all of the services that they may need in their life, no longer having to go to different offices, different departments to do so.
Now, you say that the shelter, or the Courtyard Transitional Center, as you're calling it, is just the beginning of the action that you're hoping to take. Tell us about what you're looking for in the future.
Sure. Just 2 days ago, a week after we opened the Transitional Center, the Board of Supervisors approved $1.2 million of the grant that we received to provide more homeless services and also rapid rehousing. That means these are housing for people who may need housing on a short-term basis in an apartment setting or more permanent setting instead of just a homeless shelter. And this is our attempt to try to help to deal with certain segments of the homeless population that may just need temporary help to get back on their feet.
What is the problem in addressing the homeless situation? What are the roadblocks that really need to be overcome? Is it financing? Is it cooperation? Organization between state, local levels?
I see it as a reorientation to get to the solution, reorientation of the approach that we bring to serving the homeless population. Up until now, we've always had this thinking that we are the government. If they need help, they come to us. And we may reach out, but on a very ad hoc basis. I think that's a mistake. People who are homeless, out of just their situation, they won't be able to move so easily, and they have all of their worldly belongings out there unattended. So in order for us to really help them address the issues that they face, and there are many issues, whether it be housing, health care, mental health, and even criminal matters. A lot of them have probation violations, they have warrants. We have to help them take care of all of these aspects so that they can move on with their life.
Mm-hmm. Some people would wonder why it's not being addressed more directly, that if people have a mental health problem, that they should be able to get those mental health services, that if someone has a drug addiction or is breaking the law, that they should be taken care of in terms of what we have already available in the law.
Right. The linchpin there is that it has to be voluntary. People have to take advantage of these services voluntarily. So the challenge for us, like mental health, by virtue of the mental health condition, that makes them probably less reluctant than most to take advantage of the services that we do have. So therefore, a lot of what we do, I believe, has to do with earning their trust, gaining a relationship over time. Right, being there, so eventually at one point we can break through and form that connection.
Well, you've talked about helping people find housing, new housing, transitional housing. What about the people who really are kind of happy living on the street with this community of fellow homeless people?
Right. I think the challenge that we face is to reorient their thinking. For many people who may be, kind of free-spirited, I do believe over time there is, out of necessity, out of a lack of accommodation or whatever, we find that people tend to kind of be a little bit lawless out there. They can choose that life, but they need to obey the law and not create a public hazard for the public.
Supervisor Andrew Do, thank you for coming by to talk to us about
My pleasure.
homelessness. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining us as well. I'm Leslie Layton.